the Bowels of Netflix, where your fearless co-hosts Isaac and Larry force each other to watch the worst pieces of shit on Netflix. We will go over every bad edit, all the broken dialogue, all the wooden acting, and laugh along the way, because this is the Bowels of Netflix! Alright, and welcome to the Bowels of Netflix. I'm Isaac, and with me as always is my fearless co-host Larry. How are you doing this week, Larry?
So, how did the cube become, like, the standard size, like, the standard shape of ice? Like, what? A sphere makes so much more sense to me.
I mean, can you imagine a sphere-forming ice cube tray?
I mean, yeah, it's just, you just make it spheres instead of cubes.
But that'd be harder, you wouldn't get the
like
satisfying crack when you twist it.
I think you'd still get the crack.
No, you wouldn't get the crack.
Do you ever have, like, you ever go to a place that has, like, an ice machine that has the little ice balls? Infinitely better ice. The cube is the poor man's ice receptacle. It should be circles, or, spheres, or half spheres, or, I don't know. I don't understand the cube.
I'm not much of an ice person, and I almost had a falling out with my aunt at Thanksgiving a couple years ago when she came, when we were hosting. And she was like, where's the ice? Like, we don't really have ice. You don't have ice? Why don't you have ice? And I almost dove over the table and choked her.
Okay, now, I understand not being an ice person, sure. How do you not have fucking ice? It's ice. You buy a tray for $1.
We own trays. We just never use ice.
And you just don't have... It doesn't go bad. It doesn't have an expired date.
It gets freezer stinky. Because for a while I would make ice and then not use it for 6 months, and then everyone would be like, oh man, maybe I should chill out my lemonade, and then it would taste like old salmon and broken dreams.
I think this is a problem with your freezer more than the ice. No, are you storing salmon for extended periods of time?
Well, yeah, I would store some ice for 6 months and let me know the quality.
I've never noticed. I'm sure I've stored ice for fucking years, because I'm not a huge ice guy either. Just because I mostly drink water, and as long as it's at fridge temp, I'm usually fine.
You know what I like? Room temperature tea. He's my favorite musician.
You deserve to be drug into the street and shot.
Oh, God. We are the Bowels of Netflix, two old friends who review ice.
Absolute worst.
We hate each other dearly. Every week, one of us makes the other one watch the worst movie they can find on Netflix and describe in excruciating detail. We're on the Facebook. We're on the Twitter. We're coming to TikTok hot, fast, on your face, on your tits. It's going to be good.
You're a liar on top of all of it.
No, I might be lying, but we'll see. Send us an email, bowelsofnetflix@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Any thoughts on the show, any movie suggestions, if you've gotten a sad handjob to any of these movies. We want all the details, and possibly the semen if you still have it. Wring it out of your sock, send it in the mail.
Well, if you get a hand job and you're still coming into a sock, I feel like you're taking a lot of extended measures.
Cleanup is always, like, a factor. Especially when you have loads as thick as I do.
5 different horrible images came into my head, all separately awful in their own awful ways. Oh, God.
Was one of them me just coming on, like, creme brulee?
Now 6.
Awesome.
So I could not pick creme brulee out of a lineup, but I assure you that the picture in my head is still awful.
Yeah, I mean, just coming on a fancy dessert is, it's a fetish.
It's getting worse. Everything's a fetish. Well, everything's a fetish.
No.
I assure you it is.
Pussy sex isn't a fetish.
It's...
I wouldn't call boobs a fetish. You might be a boob guy, but you don't have a fetish for boobs.
Yeah,
boobs are just, like, so straightforward for the heterosexual or homosexual woman.
I suppose bog standard sex is not the only non-fetish.
Pretty much, yeah.
God, that's weird.
Bog standard sex. My wife asked why we always do it in a bog, and I tell her, like... It's good for the immune system. It
must be a real hassle to drive out to a bog. When's the last time you've been in a bog? Well, when's the last time you've had sex, I guess? Don't answer that question. I like your wife too much to know the answer.
When did the Obama administration end?
The second he took office. God. Every
right,
politician is the worst, and if you like any of them, you're an idiot. They all suck. Every single one of them.
Who would buy a flag for a politician?
How can you like a person whose only job it is to be richer than you? They're all terrible. How can you like any of them? I can understand finding one better than another, for sure. I mean, fucking Donald Trump got acquitted literally 5 minutes ago from this recording. It's a little upsetting, but fucking, how can you like any of them? How can you like Joe Biden? This is not a political podcast. Let's talk about Ice Cube.
Yeah. Ice Cube 2028.
Fucking just hate everyone. Just do what I do and hate everyone. You'll be happy, like me.
Yeah, Larry Beard, the happiest man on the planet.
I'm so happy.
What movie are you covering this week? You brought up Ice Cube for a reason, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm fucking covering Are We There Yet?
Oh, man.
2005, a remake of something. I forget what it's called.
I didn't know it was a remake.
Yeah, oh, fuck.
Remake of Wizard of Oz?
The Wikipedia picture I pulled up was the TV series based on the movie, by the way. Oops.
Jeez.
That exists. Yeah, it's fucking, how did I manage this? There's a Canadian children's show called Are We There Yet? This is awful.
I would blame it on your gorilla fingers, most likely.
Yeah, well, no, the problem is my fucking computer restarted right about before we were about to record, and I lost all my tabs, so everything is just in shambles. But, yeah, it's a remake of... Where is it? I know I saw it somewhere. Anyway, it's a fucking remake. Screw it. Currently on Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 12% on the tomato meter. Pretty bad.
Pretty low.
Now, this is kind of interesting, and this is a movie that I knew existed, and, you know, I just know it existed, and I knew Ice Cube was in it.
Same here.
The
I knew the vague
scores,
premise.
The audience score is 45%. And when I watched this movie, because as you may or may not know, I watched these movies twice, and I reviewed the second time because I hate myself. It was like in the top 10 most searched for in Netflix.
Damn.
So I think there is a weird, like, maybe not love, but a fondness. Like, I think they're kind of like with White Chicks and B-Movie. Like, people watch this growing up, and it sort of is like, oh shit, are we there yet? I remember watching that when I was a kid. For me, it'd be like, this is not at all related, but I would think of, like, The Page Master is a shitty animated movie starring, I think, Macaulay Culkin. And Whoopi Goldberg and other people, but it's mostly animated, and I love it. I have great fondness for it because I watched it growing up, but it's a piece of shit movie. It's no good.
Yeah, I would say, especially younger millennials, people who were born in like mid-90s, like might have seen this as kids when they were 10 years old, and it sticks in their craw for some reason. The same reason I love Chris Farley movies, specifically Beverly Hills Ninja, because I saw that when I was like 9 or 10.
This is really good information,
awful.
Isaac,
it's
because
trash.
I was going to give you that movie 2 weeks ago. So this is actually...
Really? Oh, I love that movie.
I
almost gave it to you because I want you to describe it.
I kind of think I would like it because Chris Farley... You shouldn't do that.
He's good. He's good. It's a
Farley,
dumb movie, but he's fun. He's a fun man.
I will forgive him basically anything but crime. Like, it's hard. It'd be hard for me to speak ill of Chris Farley.
Now,
so don't do that.
Butt crime is that like
yes, but crimes both with and around and not related to the butt.
Okay, good. Now we're on the same page.
So yeah, much like if the Page Master came on Netflix, I would 100% watch it again and have a good time, even though it sucks. But I think this might be that's kind of the vibe I get as a similar sort of thing. It's like
there's
people
a
watched
nostalgia
it.
Factor.
Yeah, people watched it with their dads on divorcee weekends.
This is the perfect movie for that. Because the dad grew up like... did we figure out, was Ice Cube and NWA?
You know what? That's the one...
I'm going to Google it.
That is the one piece of... I forgot to do my Ice Cube research. He is NWA. He was straight out of Compton.
Oh, okay, yeah. What the fuck was Ice-T then? I guess not NWA.
Ice-T did Cop Killer. Ice-T was kind of his own thing. I don't think he was part of any of the big established rap crews. Crew is not the right word, but I don't know enough. I really didn't grow up with any of that, and I'm only kind of learning about rap now as a 30-year-old man. So my knowledge is very limited.
I have a little more, but yeah, still all right. Eazy-E, Dr. Dre, Ice Cube. Yeah, okay, they're the big names from NWA.
Right. So this movie, what I had read, and I don't usually go this far into it, but what I had read was...
Also, just real quick, if people don't know, NWA stands for Nice White Artists.
Yeah, that's accurate. Yeah, actually. A little known fact is what that means.
Sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to make sure our audience was hip.
So now my best friend had told me that, because I watched the first maybe 30 minutes of this movie with my best friend when we were waiting to go somewhere. I forced him to sit through it because I have to sit through these things. And he's way more of a, here's the dog. The dog wants attention. He's way more of a rap guy than I am. So he was telling me, apparently, Ice Cube got his start in a movie called Friday, which I had never even heard of. But
you never heard of it? I haven't seen it, but I know that was like a big movie.
Yeah, I had never heard of that at all. So, we didn't really talk about Ice Cube in particular in Anaconda because he wasn't really the star, but he's the star of this. So I was looking a little more. Yeah, so he's had a movie career before this of somewhat.
Yeah, I think Friday came out in 95.
Yeah,
so it's been a while.
And this movie was his first time with like a real leading role in a comedy. And they were saying, I think the director was saying, like, Ice Cube is like the toughest guy around, and no one's gonna buy him in a comedy. Which I don't know that I could. I don't know that again, this is my lack of knowledge, but maybe because my introduction to Ice Cube was movies like this when I was growing up, that it's impossible for me to see him as the toughest guy around.
Yeah, I could see if that was your introduction, because like I've listened to some of NWA stuff, and they are intense.
Mm-hmm. Have attitude. They have attitude, I hear.
They do have attitude. For sure.
So yeah, that's just a lack of knowledge on my part, really. Just I didn't grow up with it. But yeah, so like we said, the audience score is 45%. The IMDb is 4.7, so a little lower than the usual average is around 5, which is
IMDb does skew high.
And that's a little lower than normal, so interesting. I mean, the movie is god-awful. It's god-awful. And we'll obviously get to it. Oh, I'm sorry. I think I said 2007. This is actually 2005. The sequel was 2007.
They made a sequel?
Yeah, Are we done yet? It sounds even worse, believe it or not.
It's like a turkey asking about his feet.
But yeah, if I had any nice thing to say about this movie, goddamn, it feels good to be able to say Cube again. Because if you recall, that was my favorite part of Anaconda, was the ability to say Cube and just call him exclusively Cube.
Not Mr. Cube?
No, it's
Dr.
just Cube. Cube is his name. Cube.
What's his actual name?
It's
O'Shea Jackson.
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 Just let the silence hang for a second, and I just want you to say it. I just want you to say the word Cube, and then just let it hang for another 2 seconds. It's going to sound real good. Go ahead, go.
Cube.
Doesn't that feel good?
Cube.
Doesn't that feel good in your mouth, in your throat? Doesn't it just feel good? Yeah.
Cube. It starts from the back and then blossoms. Cube.
I love saying the word Cube, and I love referring to a man by the name Cube. It's
interesting. All right, you won me over. I like Cube.
No, I really enjoy saying it. And I looked at the Google reviews. There was nothing that really... No stellar ones like we've had in the last couple of weeks. Except for the one... I found one that I wanted to point out. A year ago from Carissa Belford. Quote, I want this show and is more to, T-O-O, be PG-13 at beginning. There, T-H-E-I-R, is blood and attacking in everywhere. Not true, by the way.
What?
Pros. 1, heartwarming. 2, cool. Cons. 1, bloods. 2, fighting. 3, Vilonet. 4, bad habits. I will recommend to boys at age 13 plus. Rate, bullying scene. 100 out of 100, which I hate. Graphics.
What?
Graphics. 59 out of 100. Whole movie, 50 out of 100. Most of boys in my social class. So that, I'm assuming that person has a very loose grasp of English.
That was written by a robot.
No, just there was no blood. And there's not really any fighting, unless you count him punching a deer in the side of the head, which is way late in the movie.
Did she mean blood like the gang?
Well, that's my second question, because the cons is Bloods, so I don't know. There's also no Bloods, believe it or not. Ice Cube is a sports memorabilia salesman and not a rapper.
Does he wear a bandana, and if so, what color?
He does not wear a bandana. He wears a lot of basketball hats, and yeah.
Larry, I think I know what we need to do. We're going to start a gang called the Bananas, and we have yellow bandanas. And then we get all the drugs and all the women and kill everyone else.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
I think it'd be good. You'll be the muscle, and I'll be the hot tub guy.
So the weirdest part about this whole thing that I never quite fucking wrapped my head around: direct sequel to Anaconda.
What? Shut up.
Direct sequel to Anaconda.
No.
I fucking swear to God.
You're lying.
Same character.
Okay, I believe that Ice Cube is not a particularly good actor.
No, it's the same character. This movie opens with Cube returning from the Amazon.
Shut up. What are you talking about?
He says J-Lo makes a brief appearance. He says goodbye to J-Lo. He promises to see her again next time they need to fight snakes or whatever. And then he retires from the documentary business and opens up a sports memorabilia store.
No, you won't get me this time.
Look, man, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, so
you're lying. No, sorry.
Okay, well, we'll see, won't we?
Yeah, okay.
In Portland, we open up with some nice funk when we pan across the city at night. We see this is a Cube Vision production, which tickles me pink. I just can't. I'm loving the word cube. A handsome man pulls up to a suburban house with flowers, clearly on a date of some kind. A pair of kids are peering from the upstairs window, giggling as the prospective suitor. Jesus, the prospective suitor.
Jeffrey Epstein is bringing them flowers.
Yeah. He encounters a barrage of Home Alone-inspired traps in the yard, like a rig that shoots tomatoes at his head, and a toy dump truck that drops marbles everywhere, etc., etc. Eventually, he's on his back in the yard when the kids begin dumping balloons full of glue on him, making him look like the recipient of an elephant bukkake, which, unrelated, is the name of the next restaurant I'm going to open.
That's good. Larry.
What do you want to eat tonight? I'm thinking elephant bukkake.
Can I be your maitre d'?
Isaac, of course. Of course you can be the maitre d' of elephant bukkake. He rises, vowing revenge, when the kids somehow drop the inflatable Santa on the roof onto his head. What? These little bastards who are like 10 and 7 years old somehow got onto the roof to rig up the inflatable Santa Claus via remote control to destroy a man on the ground below.
That's insane.
This is but one example of the piss-poor parenting of their mother. So this is not the worst thing I've ever seen, but I got real mad later on, and I'm probably going to be doing some yelling.
Larry Beard, parenting expert.
It's true. I have so many children. No, children are the worst, and you're all stupid for having them. A line I'm pretty sure I've written at least 4 times in this review.
Yeah.
So the suitor flees and the kids talk. Apparently they are waiting for their dad to one day come back. Until then, they are keeping their mom single so daddy can come take his rightful place in the home.
Gotta keep that pussy empty. That's my strategy with my mother.
Yeah. That, of all the things you said on this show and off this show, that might be the actual worst.
No, I actually encouraged her to go get the D, but she wasn't feeling it.
Well, she had
a smelly coworker who wanted to throw her a bone, and I was like, go for it. She's like, nah.
I remember you telling me this story years ago, using the description smelly coworker. Oh, wow. I'm glad that's the thing that stuck. So the kids, it's like a 10-year-old girl and a 7-year-old boy. And I hate them. And not only because they're children, although I admit that starts them on the scale of 5 of a human being a 1 out of 5, that starts them at a 2 being children. But they get down to a 1 and into the negatives very quickly. The sister says she feels bad for the next sucker that tries to put the moves on her. Cut to Cube. So Cube is in a group counseling session for coping with grief and stress. He shares a story to the group about seeing John Voight wink after the anaconda spat him back up and how he hasn't been sleeping very well ever since. He leaves there and heads to his new job, owning a sports memorabilia store. Well, I lie. On the way, he stops and buys a brand new Lincoln Navigator with spinning rims. I don't really need to mention the car. It's barely important at all. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. It's the most important object in the entire movie, and of which 65% of the plot takes place. Our old boss has owned 2 different Lincoln Navigators, and one of them now belongs to my best friend, so I'm frequently in a Lincoln Navigator, and they're very nice cars if you don't beat them to shit.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't imagine SUVs. He had spinning rims. I feel like he's a little too Republican for rims to spin.
Believe it or not, he was not a fan of spinning rims. The spinning rims come up a lot for some reason. Cube takes his new car to the shop after he talks to the bobblehead that represents his consciousness. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I forget to mention the bobblehead on the dashboard talks to him?
Yeah, I was wondering that.
So last week we mentioned I saw it was like making faces because the trailer for the movie on Netflix shows like, and we'll get to the scene later, obviously, him running off the road, and like the bobblehead was making like whoa faces as they're like falling to their inevitable death.
That was what won me over. Didn't
realize it spoke.
Jesus!
It fucking the movie is his the bobblehead is his conscious. Is that am I pronouncing it? Yeah, that's right.
Conscience.
Conscience.
Not
thank
conscious.
You. God damn it. Yeah, I'm always been bad with those words.
So it's Geppetto or I don't know, Pinocchio's penis or whatever, something.
No, it's not. It's Jiminy Cricket. Geppetto was the one who made Pinocchio, and Pinocchio's penis is not
the name of our next ska band.
He is a child, and so therefore I'm going to say it exists, and that's all I have to say about it.
He's a wooden child.
Well, no, he's a real. What are you? Did you see Pinocchio?
No, I would want to get in there early before he was a real boy. So I'm legally covered.
You can, yes, Isaac Early, you can legally fuck a child puppet. Actually, I don't know if that's true. I don't want to talk about this anymore. This is awful.
Can we just say puppet?
Just restart the whole episode. Welcome to the Bells of Netflix. I'm Isaac, and I'm a criminal.
Jeff Dunham fucks his puppets. I think we all know that.
Allegedly fucks his puppets. So
legally, provably fucks his puppets.
Allegedly, legally, provably. So the bobblehead, it's of a baseball player named Satchel Paige. Isaac, do you know who Satchel Paige is? Yeah, I know you have a weirdly deep well of baseball knowledge, so I figured you would.
Yeah, he was, I think, the oldest player ever in Major League Baseball because he was in the Negro Leagues before integration, and then ended up finally. I think he was with the Kansas City A's, and he was like 59 years old when he
59 years old.
It's Isaac, crazy.
I have known you for a very long time. Like of all the human beings I know, you're one of the people I've known the longest that I'm like still very close to. I'm still just amazed at the level of baseball knowledge you have that like somehow never comes up unless we're specifically talking about baseball.
I spent a lot of time with baseball cards and watched the Ken Burns documentary a lot. It was like my go to the library, get a VHS tape, watch Ken Burns like the 1960s of baseball for the 8th time.
Yeah, because I mean, yeah, it's 59. He was 59. He was the oldest player. Yeah, they drop more of his stats.
Are stroking Tom Brady right now for being 43.
Yeah,
you fucking go gobble down the cock of 59-year-old Satchel Paige, Tom. Then you'll know how it really is.
Oh God, everyone hates Tom Brady, and yeah, it's man. I guess when you're the best, it's deserved.
He's pretty good.
Fuck, I hate him. Yeah, you know who the MVP this year was, though? Aaron Rodgers, you motherfuckers. That's all I have. The Packers, you know, they did it again. They got to the end of the season, and they choked again. Attaboy, fellas.
They won one, right?
God damn it. They've won 3. Actually, they've won 4. They've won 4.
Okay. That's enough.
It's just, you know, they frequently get to the... Yeah, I don't really care about football much. I'm a deep Green Bay Packers fan, and oftentimes they get to the NFC game and they choke like they always do. they're real good at choking at the end. God, I'm a little upset about it. Just, you know,
your bitterness is like
Tom Brady wins again. And yeah, I don't. You know, it's just every year it always happens. They always choke. They always do great and then choke. So God damn, what are we doing?
You're foaming at the mouth, Larry.
I actually am.
Calm down.
So at the store, Cube meets with generic white friend who isn't important but is the only other human connection that Cube has, except for the bobblehead. And J-Lo, but I mean, they're not in the movie after the beginning.
Larry.
So she's in a flashback too. Some dorky little white kids come into the store. They aren't important and are only in one scene, but I felt I felt strongly about giving them names.
Interesting.
Just two random names. I'm gonna call them Larry and Isaac. I think those names work for these two little fat nerds in this store.
Good, wholesome American names.
Yeah, they're just generic, just two names out of a hat. So young Larry comes up to Cube and asks him, "Hey, mister, do you have any Yu-Gi-Oh?" It's Yu-Gi-Oh cards, kid. Yu-Gi-Oh cards. There's no other. It's not. What else would he have? It's not an anime store.
Hey, he's a maker, he's a shaker. He doesn't have time to spell everything out. Yeah, obviously it's cards, but you can just say Yu-Gi-Oh.
He then asks if Cube has any Dragon Ball GT. First of all, the actual worst piece of Dragon Ball property. Hands down, everyone knows it, even the creator. Second of all, what does that question mean? Have any Dragon Ball GT? What are you asking for? Are you asking for manga? Are you asking for DVDs? Are you asking for fucking Goku figurine? What is the question? You little turd.
Again, Larry proves he is a far deeper nerd than I am.
Look, Satchel Paige was 59. Brett Favre, he won a Super Bowl and he was addicted to painkillers. There we go. There's my sports facts I know. Cube lists a bunch of other nerd shit that he says he doesn't have, but I'm not going to get into it because I'm already killing any chance of me ever making love to a woman again. Young Isaac tries to lift a rare card. I didn't look because it's not important. It's just a rare card. I think it was Larry Bird, which makes this doubly funny to call him Larry. But I couldn't. It was small. I didn't look, and it was hard to tell anyway. So
Boston Celtics, white man. I know my sports.
You do. You know way more about sports than I do, for sure. Young Isaac tries to lift this rare card while Cube is ranting, but Cube spies him and throws a football at the back of young Isaac's head because, the early aughts when you could abuse children with no consequences.
God, I wish we could go back to that.
I know, I really do.
America was great.
It was.
Trump tried, but he didn't get to the child abusing stage.
No, he just put him in cages. But again, this is not a political podcast, although this I guess so did Obama. Everyone don't like politicians. They all suck. They all hate you.
Cage-free children. It's the best eggs you'll ever have in your life.
Isaac, if humans laid eggs, would you eat them? Let's save that question.
I plan on drinking my wife's breast milk.
I'm sure you do. I believe I just heard a podcast about a serial killer who did that same thing.
Yeah. Okay.
So, why? If you're a listener and you listen to this podcast, email in and answer the question why. So in response,
I'm going to kill. I know I'm going to kill.
Well, now it's on tape. Great. In response, young Larry and young Isaac go outside and begin licking the front glass of Cube's shop. Both these boys are now dead of the Corona 05 virus. See what I did there? Cube rants and raves about how much he hates children to generic white friend. He calls them cockroaches you can't squish. I find myself more and more agreeing with Cube as the years go by. While Cube cleans, he spies across the street a sexy mamacita coming out of a party planning place, and tells generic white friend that he thinks he's in love. White friend says he met her briefly. She's a divorcee, and white friend claims she's too much for a guy like Cube to handle. Cube says, quote, "If I can handle a goddamn snake, I can handle a goddamn divorcee."
He doesn't say that, but okay.
He also says he just had broccoli yesterday, so he's open to trying something new. That's right, ladies. To Ice Cube, you're just a piece of broccoli he hasn't fucked yet. So Cube makes his way across the street to chat up Mama. Halfway across the street, he flashes the smile, which she reciprocates, before the two children from the beginning of the movie roll up and hug their mother. Cube's face twists in disgust, and you can actually see his cock retreat back into his body. It's fucking wild. Cube goes back into the shop and declares to white friend that she's, and again, not a joke, a breeder. He calls her a breeder. Classic.
Jesus.
Yeah. This is a family movie. This is a family movie for all intents and purposes. It's like, I think it's PG. It might be PG-13. I think it's just PG.
I mean, like, my wife, breeder is like her third title. There's like house cleaner, pie maker, then breeder.
And how is she? How is your wife?
Breeder, I just met her.
using that blank, I just blanked her. That is maybe my favorite joke.
I do that constantly to my poor wife.
God, me too. Oh man, everyone in our lives must hate us.
We were on a car ride today, and I did it like 4 times, and she almost jumped out of the car on the highway.
Yeah, I don't blame her. I would too, and I make the jokes. It's terrible. So Cube is driving home at night. It's pouring rain. He drives past a lady bent over her car, she's bent over the hood with the hood open. She's bent over the front with the hood open. I wrote that sentence badly.
She's working on her car. You don't have to say she's bent.
Well, no, because he's looking at her ass. That's why I mention it, because because he's ogling her figure like a gentleman, I assume, and then she turns to flag him down, and he sees that it's the Mamacita from one scene ago. So because we see her bent over the thing, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's an ass. Look at that ass. I'll put my dick in that ass." That's how Ice Cube sounds in my head. Sure,
that's how I sound in my head.
So he sees that it's the mama from one scene ago. He looks disgusted and speeds past her, doing everything but splash her with water like a Meg Ryan movie as he goes by. And while she's literally shouting at him in desperation. Cube softens.
How much better would this movie be if Tom Hanks was the lead?
It'd be way more interesting if it was like the movie was exactly the same, just with Tom Hanks instead of Cube. As he's slowing down, because he's like kind of softening, Satchel Paige, who's kind of the villain of this movie, and by Satchel Paige I mean the bobblehead on his dashboard, which represents his conscience. It's, by the way, it's like, I don't know how it's stuck to the dashboard by the power of Cube's belief or something, because he just kind of puts it there and it never moves. I mean, the head moves, but it never moves.
Right.
Satch says, quote, and I didn't come up with a name for him because the Cube shortens it to Satch, and much like Cube, I also like saying Satch.
Satch is satisfying.
Man, whenever Cube...
Also, Satchel's a great name. It's a weird name, but it's
Satchel
good.
is a great word, and it's great for a name. Yeah, I'd never fucking heard of Satchel Paige before, but I like the name Satchel Paige a lot, and I might steal that for a D&D character. Because like we said, I'm a nerd. So Satch says, quote, "Don't do this. She's got 2 kids and a broken down car. What's next? You're going to ask her mama to move in with us." End quote. So Cube goes in to help her as she needs a battery jump. Cube hesitates as he says since it's pouring, it might not be safe. She says, "Oh, but I sure do appreciate it," which, is just the polite way of saying, "Well, fucking do it anyway." And bewitched by her beauty, Cube does it. They make introductions, again, in the pouring rain, as opposed to literally anywhere else where they have the conversation. I'm like, "Oh, hey, didn't I see you across the street?" "Oh, yep, sure did." Well, they're getting fucking soaked to the bone. And he does the jump, and the battery sparks and explodes, sending Cube flying off into the bushes.
Oh,
Science alert! Using jumper cables in the rain is no more or less dangerous than using them on a driveway. As long as you put the order of the sequence correctly, which every set of jumper cables has a tag on them that has the order, you will be perfectly safe. Rain does not matter.
Dead,
the car does not have
black
enough.
To cock.
Red to right nipple. Left to the mouth of your lover. I don't care.
Whatever pleasure zone you want on fire.
So Cube and Mama get into his car. Hers appears to have died for the rest of the movie. It's never seen again. I think that car is still there in Portland, sitting on the side of the road, a monument to the selfishness of capitalism. So Cube turns on the heated seats, mentioning how it, quote, heats the undercarriage. And I'm not sure how I feel calling the ass and genital area of a human the undercarriage, but it made me feel some kind of way. Mama notices the bobblehead and reveals that she knows who Satchel Paige is, and they bond over facts about him, which I think I read on IMDb that some of them are incorrect, but I just don't care. The bobblehead has been giving her disparaging remarks the entire time, but suddenly is into her when she knows his stats. Because I don't know if it's haunted by the ghost of Satchel Paige, or it's supposed to be fucking Cube's conscience, but it seems like it's haunted like the fucking ghost of Duke Ellington in fucking Big Mouth, which, again, I'm not going to stop talking about that show because I love it.
I need to see that.
It's really good. So Yeah, so the bobblehead is like giving her all these remarks, and she takes off her jacket, and Cube and his weird id bobblehead can like see her titties now. Like, not naked, obviously. She's still wearing
right.
It's a PG movie, but like,
you know,
she takes off her
titties
jacket.
Are freed from a jacket, and they're just under a
camera
blouse
is
or
not on
something.
her face; it's on her torso.
Yeah,
and then they're like, "Oh shit, we gotta fucking put our dick in those," which I assume is how sex works. Satch says all they need to do is to get rid of the children. He encourages Cube to get them sent to military school. To which Cube says, "quote out of sight, out of mind," and does the gangsta equivalent of an evil laugh. And by the way, Cube might be a psychopath for half of this movie.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
That's a little intense.
I mean, it's a family movie, so not much, but just a little bit. He's a little bit psycho.
Now, Larry, the Satchel Paige stuff reminded me. I have to interrupt real quick.
Sure.
Another baseball record. The shortest player in baseball history.
Really?
I forget the man's name, but it was around the same time, like in the 40s or 50s
so
or some crazy
it's not
bullshit.
Satchel Paige, though.
No.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go on.
It is literally a dwarf who is less than 4 feet tall
Amazing.
because his strike zone was so tiny, it would almost be impossible to pitch him a strike. And he would get walked, and then immediately they would put a pinch runner on.
That's incredible. That's brilliant.
It's utterly ridiculous and was like outlawed immediately. Like as soon as he did it, like the next day, Major League Baseball was like, nope, can't do that. No dwarves allowed.
That's like sending a dog. That's like the Air Bud rule. You send a dog to play because there ain't no rule that says a dog can't play basketball. Same sort of thing.
Exactly.
You can't stop him because he's got 4 legs. There was a basketball play because, like in basketball, throwing I think it's called like the granny shot, where you like throw with both hands, underhand, like a little kid would throw. Basically.
Oh right, yeah.
It's scientifically proven to be much more effective, but like only one guy would do it regularly because he just didn't give a fuck. It's not banned. It's totally fine to do, and it's way more an effective shot. And everyone hated him for it. But he was just like, I don't give a fuck. I'm much better than the rest of you. I don't remember who it is. That was a long time ago.
That's very amusing.
Yeah,
I totally believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, we absolutely like it's better, but we can't because it's lame.
Yeah, and where I heard that fact, they were like, well, yeah, because other basketball players want to get laid afterwards. He sure wasn't. So Cube takes her home, and they have a cute little moment at the door. Apparently, Cube was going to be a baseball player, but like ruined his shoulder lifting a TV. I thought for sure that would mean something, but it never fucking comes up again. And it really bothered me that it didn't. I don't know why.
Yeah, you'd think that'd be something.
Cube was about to ask her on a date when the brother and sister come out and oust Cube, scaring him away with her natural childness. Don't blame him, to be honest. She asks after him and requests he give her a ride to work while her car is in the mystery garage outside the boundaries of reality because it's broken forever. He agrees as the children look on disapprovingly. We get a little pick-up and drop-off montage as apparently Cube's kindness is as big as his career. Their friendship continues to bloom, and eventually they are grocery shopping together. Mama thanks him for continuing to help the few days. They have more cutesy banter where she talks about never seeing him without a hat. I mean, I don't blame him for never taking it off because, as we all know, underneath his hat is just a smaller ice cube. So obviously you got to keep that shit on. His bling gets caught in her jacket, and he goes to kiss her, but she pulls away. She says she's thought about bending him over and giving it to him like he's back in the jungle with J-Lo, but considering the fact he's never once asked about her kids and cannot even remember their names because he calls them the names of the Cosby children, Rudy and whoever, he's not the right guy for her.
Rohypnol.
Is he dead yet?
Nah, not quite. Almost.
Oh, I mean, okay. I need to,
Kill Bill Cosby?
Well, funny story. I did not save. I have 2 different versions of this review, and I opened up the wrong one. So I need to find the other one, which is on a different computer. So just give me a second. Give me a goddamn second.
So what, did this one have like a glowing endorsement of Bill Cosby and how he's innocent?
I did write 3 whole paragraphs about how I figure he was my TV dad and, everything people says about him is wrong. No, I just have 2 different versions. This one isn't finished. I have the finished version over here.
Did you watch the Cosby Show? I never had seen it.
I never saw a single second of it. I've seen the Pudding Pop commercial, and that's it. That's like the only thing about
Bill Cosby.
Really?
Yep. She shook his hand, had breakfast with him.
Interesting.
Yes.
Does she have any stories we should know about? Okay.
To my knowledge. Yeah.
Would that change your relationship if she was?
Yeah, no, I wowould force her to write a tell-all book and we'd be millionaires.
You'd be thousandaires.
Yeah, that's fine. That's enough.
All right.
If I can smear caviar on the head of my penis and have it sucked off by a dog, we're good. Anyway, what were we talking about?
That is stunned silence. Can dogs eat caviar? Terrible question. I want to know. We cut to a basketball game, which is of no importance to anything whatsoever. Once again, I question why the shoulder injury thing doesn't come up here, but apparently it's only me that cares about it. Cube is cutting out early to take Mama to the airport in the morning, and generic white friend and all the basketball boys laugh at him, making fun of him for being in the friend zone. Stop with the goddamn friend zone shit. It's not, just don't. Yeah. It's bad. Stop it.
Every romantic comedy is awful.
Right. Now, this is 2005, what's the word? Fuck. I'm not saying it's okay. I understand why they did it, but it's even taking out the fact that it's like not cool and a shitty thing to be as a human being. It's a tired movie trope. Certainly by 2005. God forbid moving forward, but Jesus, every romantic comedy.
Not innovative storytelling.
No, not at all. Again, I don't know why we're expecting Are We There Yet to be innovative.
Fair enough.
So anyway, Cube takes her to the airport. She thanks him for being such a good friend. Cube's tumor acts up as he hears another friend zone gag over the loudspeakers of the airport. Because, yeah, great. Real funny. Cube once again tries to make a pass at her, but in the middle of it, she gets a call. And she, totally blows him off in the middle of him 100% opening up his heart to her. And she just, in the middle of it, she's, got her head cocked like a dog. And she gets a fucking phone call, and she's like, oh, excuse me, you're not talking about anything important, right? And just fucking turns around and takes the call.
Interesting.
She doesn't even say, can you give me a second, or tell the person on the phone, hey, hang on, my friend's doing something. He's clearly talking about something important. Super rude. So, apparently the call is from her ex-husband. We only hear the call from her side, as apparently he is blowing off the kids for the weekend. She's, going away to Canada for some party planning event over New Year's Eve, which it's New Year's Eve, I think. She's super bummed out because she can't go to her thing because the ex is allegedly sick. She cries to Cube about how much the kids love him, but he's a piece of shit, and now she's going to lose her job since she has to stay with them instead. Cube, sensing a path to the puss, offers to bring them with.
Sensing a path to the puss?
He offers to bring them with to the airport. She thanks him for being so kind, and she says she'll get him the 3 tickets. Cube, however, reveals that he was only offering to bring them to the airport, not fly on the plane with them, because Cube hates children. Again, a very smart man. They have a mini argument about it before Cube relents and reluctantly agrees to fly them up to her in Vancouver, which apparently took me 4 sentences to write down because I'm a professional.
Vancouver.
Yeah, that's...
You're saying it wrong.
Go fuck yourself. Cube arrives at the house while being berated by the bobblehead. Satch points out the fact that, quote, would you trust a woman who trusts you with her kids? And here we dip a toe into the entire, holy shit, wait a minute, conceit of this entire movie. The whole overarching story of this movie is Ice Cube's got this friend he met a week ago and has been driving her to and from work every day. And she decides on a whim at the last moment to let this man fly her children to Vancouver with her.
Yeah.
Or without her.
Yeah.
It's comically terrifying that such a woman would exist. This woman, I know Casey Anthony was the worst mother in America, but this woman is the worst mother in America and Canada, because part of this movie takes place in Canada. It's absolutely nonsensical. This whole thing about how fucking Cube's just going to take her, and we'll see what it's going to lead to, because guess what? They ain't flying in the goddamn plane. Believe it or not. I don't know. It drives me insane. She's the worst person
bonkers
in this whole movie, and that includes the children that I hate.
The list of people I would trust my pets with is very small.
Yeah, honestly, for me, it's 6 total people, maybe 7, and 8 including you and your wife if you guys were living near me.
Don't trust me with Seamus.
I'm already trusting you with a cat that I love.
Yeah. Well, she's doing all the work.
Yeah. Anyway,
she won't let me hurt it.
That is.
I started teasing her, and it was just poking her, and not like that. Come on.
This is spiraled wildly out of control.
A little bit. But yeah, don't trust me with anything. And you love me.
Noted.
But don't trust me. Don't.
Noted. Fuck's sake. I'm losing steam on this review. I remember I paused it here to write something down, and I saw there was over an hour left, and I thought I was halfway through at that point. This one was a long time to get through. So Cube picks up the kids, and the old babysitter hits on him. Whatever, it's not funny. The kids are particularly unhappy to see him and make their displeasure known immediately. They demand gifts, as apparently Mom's boy toys always give gifts to the children. Cube starts pulling random shit out of his pockets. He finds the switchblade he brought with him from the trip downriver, the one that Voight knocked out of his hands from the fight. And he has like a moment where he has to like grip the door frame from having a flashback to the Amazon.
Larry, stop it.
It's pretty well shot too, actually, because you can like, while he's doing this, you can hear the faint hiss of a snake in the background. It's pretty good. But he gives the sister a soda coupon and the brother a corkscrew. I don't know what kind of glamorous rap star life that a sports memorabilia store owner Ice Cube is living in the background of this movie to merit carrying around a corkscrew, but whatever. The brother asks if Cube wants to learn some Chinese. He then proceeds to kick Cube in the balls, or as I called it, the little cubes. And I guess that's how this is going to be.
Good name.
Our trio arrives at the airport. The brother immediately opens the door too hard and gets a big dent and yellow paint all over the door when he hits one of those parking poles. Cube yells and the kid loudly and annoyingly fake cries. The sister is super overprotective and passive-aggressive and also aggressive-aggressive. And I really, really, really hate these children. Now, I hate all children. I mean, to the point where I don't even... When our company has Bring Your Child to Work Day, I take off every year to the point where it's become like a thing that people know about me. Is that, oh, that's Larry. He hates children. That's like, it's the people who don't know me at work very well. That's like one of the 3 facts about me they might know. So,
wow.
I really, really fucking despise all children. Like, baby, like newborn to 1 year old, anything after that, I hate it. Get it out of here. I'm not interested in it. Get rid of it.
Gonna force my offspring down your throat.
Look, and I will love it until it's 1, and then I don't want to fucking see it again until it's like 19.
No, you're gonna get a lot of baby. A lot of toddler. You're gonna have toddler all up in your business.
I don't fucking think so.
Oh yeah.
Good fucking luck.
I'll just release him into your home.
Like a virus.
Yeah. And if you kill him, you'll get arrested.
I'm not gonna kill children. I'm not a monster. I just hate them. I can hate things without killing them. I've been doing it for 30 years.
That's true.
If I killed everything I hated, this planet would be a very different place.
You would be Satan.
Yeah, basically. It'd be something. I'll get into more later about how much the various and specific reasons why I hate the kids, but for now, that's all you need to know. The brother is trying to run away from Cube, who is yelling at him over the dent, so Cube offers the little shit $10 to shut up, which the brother accepts. The girl says, "You can't buy us off, you need to apologize." So Cube gives her $10 too. She says that as she's the older sister, she deserves more and extorts another 10. You'd think that's how this would resolve the entire movie, but I guess he blew all his money getting back home from the Amazon, so he never fucking offers them money again to goddamn shut them up, which worked once. Do it again. They're not smart. They're just children. Keep giving them money till they shut up. Idiot. God. So they're about to go through the metal detector inside the airport. Cube has to remove all his bling and the shit in his pockets. He's wearing a lot of bling. Or, I'm sorry, as he puts it in the movie, blingage. You're better than this, Cube.
2005.
Yeah, the sisters...
I don't like 2005. It was a bad year.
No, honestly, the 2000s, they sucked. There was nothing really good about them, weren't they? I think we're far enough away now that I can say with certainty that 2000 to 2010 was pretty shitty.
It was... Because 90s was the .com bubble. Mm-hmm. 2000 to 2010 was everyone getting on board with technology. And it was painful.
Yeah. Yeah, and we've got the after effects of that, but it was bad then.
The teens weren't a whole lot better, but the naughties were they were bad.
What good came out of the naughty? Is that what they're called, really? Or is that you?
That's what I've heard them called, and I like that.
I like that too. What good came out of that? Like, really? I think back and nothing.
No, yeah, nothing.
I can't think of anything good. I'm sure there is. I don't know. I feel like the further away from it we get, the more I'm like, boy, that whole period sucked.
I lost my virginity in the noughties.
I don't remember if I did. Whatever.
I mean, losing your virginity is a pile of trash anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty awful. Let's not talk about it.
It's basically the worst sex you ever have in your life.
I've had worse.
Okay, well, yeah, fair enough. You can always shit yourself during a fuck.
I've never done that. This is terrible. Let's move on.
You got options.
So they're about to go through the metal detector at the airport. Bodies always bling. The sister sees a sign about the things you can't bring on a plane and eggs the brother to get rid of the cube's corkscrew gift. The brother panics and shoves it in Cube's pocket. Of course, this sets off the alarm. And since this is post 9/11 and Cube is a large black man, he is tackled by four guards and promptly beaten to death. The movie is then taken over by Ice-T, who is, in my opinion, the much better Ice. And I like Cube. Don't get me wrong. Mad props to Cube. But Ice-T, he's the better Ice. I'm an Ice-T man.
I'm a vanilla Ice man. He's superior.
You would.
Yeah. Rob Van Winkle. I think that's his name.
I think so. You piece of shit.
I would suck him off in an alley for a can of Diet Coke.
You'd be the first person in 25 years.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
All right, so they can't take a plane because they think Cube is a terrorist. He instead books some train tickets, and as they're about to get on the train, it cuts pretty quick from plane to train. And, oh God, if only John Candy was here with an automobile.
I was going to say.
The brother bitches about having to pee. Cube tells him to wait, but the sister says, he's prone to bladder infections, you know. Little goddamn lion snitch. As the train is boarding, the kids dither and waste time, blah, blah, unfunny, blah. I hate the children. And I hate all children. And all humans, but children most of all. Well, I mean, let's not just settle at the humans. I hate most other animals and just being alive. Everything sucks. Everything sucks. I'm a bad person. I deserve to be killed. As Cube Cube hucks the kids onto the train. It's like seconds from leaving, so he's really hustling. And as Cube is loading the luggage, the brother sees that the dumb action figure, I didn't mention it, he's been holding an action figure this whole time, it's not important, but he lost its cape on the loading dock, or the train platform rather, so he runs off the train to get it, because these kids have no fucking discipline whatsoever, because their mother just pays them no goddamn mind at all, clearly, because they know nothing about discipline in any way. This
parenting advice from Larry.
No, this is good parenting advice. Don't let your kids fucking be little unruly shitheads. God. The sister goes with him. So this is unbeknownst to Cube, blissfully unaware that these awful children have gotten off. So Cube gets on the train, which starts taking off, and he sees the kids on the platform as the train is departing. In the gag, admittedly, this is the gag I liked the most out of this whole movie, and I did kind of chuckle throughout this whole bit. Like, we see the kids on the platform and the train going by, and Cube is running through the train to keep with the same window they're at. So it's just like, the train is going by at top speed, and Cube is like running as fast as he can so he can stay like at eye level with them in the train. It's hard to describe. Okay. It's a funny gag. Like, it looks good. It's hard to describe in just words, but
I think I can picture it.
And he's like jumping over people's legs and stuff. It was funny. It's not the height of comedy or anything, but it's a good sight gag. I'm clinging to scripts. So Cube has to jump off the train because, of course, Cube has to jump off the train. Why would he ever be on it? Fucking mom calls Cube and he tells her he has to drive. He kind of mutters under his breath that this is the last thing they can do, as he refuses to ever get on a boat again after the events of Anaconda. When she asks what he says, he just kind of brushes it off. She wants to talk to the kids. He tells them to keep their mouths shut about the events of the day, the events that are unequivocally their fault, mind you. But of course the little bastards immediately reveal that shit went wrong and pin it on poor Cube. The kids protest that they want to go to their dad's, but Mama tells them that he's sick and they can't go. So Cube and the kids set off. By the way, we're like 30 minutes into this movie.
Jesus.
The car trip hasn't started yet.
Oh my God.
Cube lays down a bunch of the ground rules for being in the car. So I know I try to be super detail-oriented with these reviews, and up to now I've been pretty specific, but basically the next 40 minutes just takes place inside the car with the occasional gag outside. I'm going to gloss over a lot and just hit the finer points because I don't have the strength to go over each and every frustrated dad with kids gag in this goddamn car because there's a lot, and it's not worth going over every second.
Fair enough.
You've been in a car with your family, if God willing you have a family. Actually, I don't know if that's a good thing anymore, the older I get. But you've experienced this sort of thing. So it's kids in a car. They suck. Kids suck. So they're going along. The sister tells Cube that trying to date her mom is a waste of time because Mama and Baby Daddy are still finna to fuck. Oh, I'm sorry, finna to smash is what I wrote, because that's funnier to me than finna to fuck. And Cube is just another penis with a man attached and a long line of worthless cocks too awful to fill her mother. Or something like that. The kid in the back is playing some crappy God of War ripoff on a Nintendo GameCube in the back seat, which raises several questions for me. One, Cube bought this car, I think, like a week ago. Two, he has no children. He hates children. His only friend is a generic white guy and a bobblehead. Why does he own a Nintendo GameCube? And why would it be in the back seat? And why would he already have a game for it? I just don't understand. Also, who the fuck?
Stop asking questions.
I know the GameCube, the Nintendo GameCube, has a fucking handle on the back of it. Who the hell puts one in their car? An asshole, that's who. After that argument, the brother they argue about it. The brother stops playing it. He pulls the Capri Sun out, and it gets sprayed all over the ceiling when Cube tries to take it from him, because that's against the rules. Keep that in mind for later. The sister plays with the radio, another rule you were not supposed to break, and presses the FM button to put on the hamster dance, which, if you're not familiar, allow me to give you a sample. A beeda beedy bo bo beeda beedy bo beedy 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 do. That's the fucking hamster dance. Which,
so Baby Shark of the naughties?
At no point in human history did the hamster dance ever play on the radio. And even if I'm wrong about that, I have to cling to that belief or I'm going to have a fucking aneurysm. So I need that to be true. Q protests this as a baby shit and puts on 50 Cent. Sister says she'd pay him $1 to shut up. I notice you're not laughing. Why aren't you laughing at that great joke?
Because 50 Cent is half of $1. And wait, I don't get it.
That's fine. We'll talk about the concept of money after the show. They all argue about being...
I own Bitcoin.
I don't yet. Maybe I should. They all
I sold my Bitcoin at like $9,000. I'm an idiot.
I don't think...
I'm so stupid.
I wouldn't call you an idiot because a lot of people did that. Because it was a smart idea at the time. Because who could have guessed that it'd go to the moon? So they are...
Investing is for cocksuckers.
Yeah, I wish I had money to do more of it. They argue about being ghetto or ghetto fabulous, and she puts the hamster dance back on. Editor's note, both children dance horribly. I don't even want to talk about it. Eventually, even Cube gets into the hamster dance and starts head bombing along, and it is a catchy fucking tune. Kill everyone, break down the pillars of creation, life is over. God. The brother has to pee again. We get a whole just hold it sequence with Cube before he has to pull over at a shitty gas station where they run into a disgusting bathroom. So instead they go into the occupied ladies' room where the brother pees in the sink while Cube holds him up like Simba from The Lion King. And eventually a lady hits Cube with her purse and then Cube uses the brother as a shield and he pees all over her.
Oh boy, that's some physical comedy gold right there.
Yeah, it's real great. Outside, Cube tries to clean up the Capri Sun off the ceiling. Isaac, what color is Capri Sun?
Clear?
No, incorrect. Apparently, it's so dark purple that it makes the darkest purple stains that have ever stained the ceiling of anything in our lives.
No.
It could stain the
Even
ceiling.
The fruit punch is clear.
It's darker than purple paint. Capri Sun has always been clear. Also, apparently, it has an FDA allowable amount of mold in it, and I can't ever drink it again because of that fact.
Yeah, well, ketchup has like a 0.2% insect parts.
Don't talk about it. If you ruin ketchup for me, I'm going to kill myself. I swear,
Ketchup's
headphones are off. I can't hear you.
Ketchup's delicious.
I can't. I don't even want to fucking hear it. Son of a bitch. Ketchup's great. We're not going to talk about it.
Ketchup's good. Yeah, we're good.
All right. Oh, fuck. So, yeah, he can't clear off the Capri Sun off the ceiling. Generic white friend calls on the speakerphone and badmouths the kids. So now it's war between the two factions. White generic friend is never seen again in the movie. So what was the point of having him? It could have just as easily been the bobblehead. I guess the bobblehead's not real. What am I talking about? Why am I doing this?
Satchel Paige is real.
Satchel Paige is real. The bobblehead representing Cube's inner thoughts is not. Brother fakes an asthma attack, which we'll talk about his asthma later. So Cube jumps out to get the inhaler out of the trunk. They lock him out, and the sister jumps in the driver's seat. They argue, and the brother calls Cube a, quote, dirty, horny sex man. This is something I one day hope to be called, but preferably not by a 7-year-old child.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've been there, done that.
In fact, forget the whole thing. So, blah, blah, blah. The sister tries to drive the gator. Cube stands in the way, so she tries to just run him the fuck over. Okay.
Jesus.
Slapstick comedy driving. Eventually, Cube dives onto the roof and gets halfway stuck in and out of the sunroof, while a trucker looks on disapprovingly. The sister drives into the statue of Paul Bunyan. It's not important, but there's a statue of Paul Bunyan there.
Okay,
and his axe falls straight down onto Cube's cubes, rendering him sterile as a mule for the rest of time. I guess his son isn't going to be in Are We There Yet 2, Anaconda First Blood Part 3.
Larry?
While driving along, Cube sees a hunter with a deer tied to the hood and fantasizes about having the children tied to the hood like a psychopath.
Jesus.
They're driving along past the disapproving trucker from the last scene, who magically seems to hear everything Cube is saying inside his closed car on a highway. Of course,
you know how that is.
And of course, Cube is shouting threats to the children about how he's going to bury them alive, etc., etc. He's just an angry guy about his car, whatever. So the fucking little sister holds up, the older sister holds up a sign that says "Help us" to the trucker.
Oh my God.
Who tries to be a hero by calling up another trucker, and they Smokey and the Bandit the Gator, which, if you don't know what that means, they like box it in with trucks so Cube can't go anywhere.
Okay.
The truckers have him boxed in, and eventually disapproving truckers start shouting for Cube to pull over. Since he isn't pulling over, because Cube's like, fuck that shit, man, I don't need to pull over anybody. The trucker starts ramming the Gator against the rail of a bridge. With the children are inside the car, you goddamn moron. You're going to kill Ice Cube and the children.
If we can't save the children, we might as well kill them quickly.
I mean, it's not quick. They're going to fall off a bridge to their messy deaths.
Yeah, well, the car will explode in a giant fireball, and they'll just be dead.
Well,
it's nice and clean. A clean end.
Cube spirals out of control, and they fly into the woods down a steep hill, wrecking up the car. Eventually, they fall down a gigantic cliff, Bugs Bunny style, and the car gets super smashed up. Like, they almost fall to their deaths. This trucker almost killed them. And I guess he's just like, that'll show them, and just drives off.
Yep. That sounds like pretty much every trucker I know.
Cube gets out and has like a 1949 gold miner fit about the car. He's like stomping up and down, screaming. He's basically screaming "rackin' frackin' varmints" as he's like stomping on his hat and just waving his arms. It's funny looking.
That's amazing.
I think we talked about it in Anaconda. I like Cube as an actor. Like, he's not fucking Michael Ball. Like, he's not the greatest actor of our age, but he's not talentless. No, he's entertaining. Like you know, he was in a more serious role in Anaconda, and he's in a more comedy role here. But like, I'd call him a very solid actor. You know, he's not bringing much to the performance, but like, I have basically no problems with his acting.
Yeah. I mean, he's a performer, and he has been since he was a teenager.
Yeah.
So like, he knows how to win over a room. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and I think you know, a lot of times that can translate from music into acting. So,
right. And
he definitely has enough to get it done.
And he's playing Ice Cube. Like, he's the same character in Anaconda and this, but they're different roles. But like, he in any movie, he's always Ice Cube. But like, unlike Ray Romano, who is still the worst example in the world for me of an actor who can't get out of his own fucking lane, because he's the worst and he's always the worst in everything. But like, Cube works. You know, you throw Cube in there, he'll do solid work. He holds him up. So like, it's fine. And he has a couple like that, and him in the train. Like, it's funny. You know, it works. So I don't have many complaints about him. Cube stops the car at a local garage. The owner of the garage is a Chinese man. I mentioned this for a reason, as we'll see. He wants to go home for New Year's Eve to watch Dick Clark, but Cube begs him to fix the car and get it done today. Cube promises to pay extra, but the mechanic isn't interested. Cube sweetens the pot by offering him a card from his wallet, because he's a collectibles guy. It's a Yao Ming rookie card. The owner says, "You think because I'm Chinese, I want a Chinese card," but then he sees that the card is holographic, and he accepts.
Yeah, I mean, we all know that about Chinese people. They love holograms.
I don't necessarily know what to think of this, but it did happen, and I'm going to mention it, and draw your own conclusions.
That's so bizarre.
Meanwhile, the kids have used the car GPS to triangulate where their dad lives and hop on a nearby freight train.
What?
We don't see them get on the freight train because obviously they could never get on a fucking freight train because we're going to see Cube have trouble with it in a second, but whatever. So Cube tries to give chase, but sadly he is a mortal man. Killing snakes is one thing, but catching a moving train is another. So he starts to lose ground when suddenly he spies a paddock of horses nearby. He steals one, magically knows how to ride it, and catches up with the kids on the train. I feel like...
Have you ever ridden a horse?
Yeah, I was like a 6-year-old kid. I was led around one in a circle.
No, I actually did trail riding in Hawaii.
Yeah, we've actually talked about this before. You killed the horse because you're too fat.
Well, yeah, I didn't. The poor horse.
I was so mean. I'm so sorry.
They gave me a big one. No. I seriously was like 5 pounds overweight and lied about my weight.
And I'm sure the horse is fine.
No, but it is fucking hard, and it was like, oh man, good God, riding a horse is unbelievably
It does not seem like one of those things you can just fucking do.
And the horse was just walking. It trotted once, and I almost pledged my life and servitude to Jesus Christ, our Savior. He was like, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, from the horse going 6 miles an hour.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, but Cube, who was like a guy who's in love with his Lincoln Navigator so much that he puts plastic over the seats, doesn't seem like a guy who rides horses in his off time.
No.
I mean, I could be wrong. Who knows? You'd think he'd mention it at some point. So anyway, he's fucking on this horse, and he catches up with the kids in the train. He shouts for the kids to get on the horse, which I'm not sure how that's supposed to work, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't... Okay.
Mama suddenly calls and he tries to play it cool. He ends up tossing the phone to the kids, who suddenly decide not to rout him out or anything and play along too, that they're on their way, even though they're now headed to their dad's and they're on a train and Cube's on a horse. And you'd think if they really wanted to be rid of him, which they want to be rid of him, just tell him, I'm on a train, Cube's on a horse, this is your problem now. Click.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
Jesus. It's nonsensical.
Cube tries to board the train, but gets flung from the horse and loses them. He limps back to the garage and finds out where the kids went using the GPS. The bobblehead tells Cube to hit himself over the head with a brick and say they got kidnapped, which, honestly, not a bad idea. But he heads off anyway. So
Satchel Paige is a wise man.
Blah, blah, blah. Kids get into Dad Town, and the little brother is starting to soften on Cube a little bit, but the sister is obstinate that he still sucks. We get a little emotional journey with the kids. They go to the dad's house and sees that he's not sick at all. He has a brand new family that he loves, and he totally doesn't give a shit about them. While they look on the window and see his new life, Cube appears behind them suddenly, snapping their necks before breaking down in tears over their prone bodies, recalling his adventures in the Amazon. No, I'm not going to lie. I made that part up. He doesn't snap their necks.
Yeah, okay.
He feels pity for them for their shitty day. No, but seriously, like, he just fucking there in the window. And last time they saw Cube, he was flung from a horse to his probable death. And then he just, like, walks up behind them, and he's just like, come on, kids, let's get out of here. And they're like, all right, I guess he found us.
I personally, I can't wait until I have a second family. Like, I'm really looking forward to that. That's when I know I've made it.
I'm just waiting to hear you get murdered by your wife. If only she could walk.
Yeah, well, I mean, you need thumbs to fire a gun.
Yeah, okay. I had to do the motion.
Accurately at least.
She's just going to wing you.
I mean, she's thrown plenty of guns at me, hoping they go off accidentally. But, never. I mean, I've lost a toe or two, but that's about it.
You don't need all your toes. God gave you a couple extra.
Yeah, of course not.
Jesus Christ. So Cube feels pity for the kids. They stop at a diner to eat. They're super bummed out about their shitty, not even deadbeat dad, because he's a good dad. He just doesn't care about them. So I don't know what you call that. Frankly, I don't blame him, because these kids are the worst, so I'd run out on them too. The three share a bonding moment, because of course Cube has a crappy dad story too, because of course they all had dads that ran out on them. I don't know. I don't like it. So blah, blah, blah. Now they're friends because their lives all suck. Cube commiserates over childhood sucking with them, and they're friends. Kind of. As they're driving along, they're bonding. The sister says that if a man... Oh, I forgot about this. The sister says that if a man isn't married by the age of 35, he's either damaged or gay. And boy, does that line hold up real well.
Oh, damn.
From the mouth of babes,
damn.
Huh? And then Satch,
good God.
To drive it home, Satch looks at Cube and says, well, that would explain those earrings. Fucking movie.
2005, come on. You were better than this.
So 5 more years, I guess. I gotta figure shit out, huh?
Or get an earring, I guess.
I had one when I was a kid. I took
Really?
it out for soccer. Yeah, I had a Snoopy earring. I took it out for soccer and then never put it back in, and then just closed.
You had a pierced ear?
Yeah, from like age, I think like 4 to 11, maybe 10.
Damn,
Yeah.
that is fascinating.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, I had a little gold Snoopy earring. I loved it. I think it was my left ear. It's been a while.
I'm so flummoxed by this information.
Really?
Yes.
I don't think it's that flummoxing, but okay.
Also, getting piercing the ear of a 4-year-old.
I think it was very popular in the 90s. Also, have you heard any of the stories about to my father I've told?
I know.
He also had a
but
pierced ear,
again-
which that was weirder to me than me having one. I mean, I'm a soft fat boy, but you know, he was like a tough guy. He pretended to be a tough guy. I don't know. Whatever. This is terrible. This is not good radio.
Let's get Prince Alberts together on air.
No. There's no, man. We'll talk about it off the air, but there's 3 specific reasons why I can't do that. One is I lose a bet.
Cock's too big?
No, what are you talking? You know me. Come on. Do I?
I've never seen your
do
penis.
I act like a man?
You might have an anaconda in them shorts.
Do I act like a man who's hung like a horse?
No, but that doesn't mean you're not.
It's just, hi, Mom. Fuck. Shit. God, I'm gonna kill myself. All right. Cube starts tickling the boy. It's harmless. It's harmless.
What?
It's harmless.
Okay.
And I don't even want to go into that hole. It's totally, completely harmless.
I've been tickled and not molested.
Yeah,
I know how
everybody
it is.
has. Well, everyone's been. Man. Welcome to the Bowels of Netflix. We're restarting. This is I'm Larry, and I'm sorry about everything. So the kid starts having an asthma attack, so he takes his inhaler, and the inhaler runs out, so they have to stop at a pharmacy and refill the script. We'll get into more of the asthma more later. I haven't forgotten, because I got some shit to say about it.
The kid has the prescription with him?
No, I thought about making a big deal of that. They usually print it on the side of the inhaler. It's not a medicine you can just get refilled willy-nilly. You have to go to a doctor for it, but honestly, for the sake of a movie, whatever. That's
Fair
a pretty
enough.
minor
Fair
detail. I have many inhalers. I know how it works. Because of course I do. Many inhalers and I'm hung like a horse.
I just met her.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. So they go to the pharmacy and it's about to close because, again, it's New Year's Eve. The jerk at the pharmacy says that the pharmacist is out for the day anyway. He's like the cashier. Cube tries to get the location of the pharmacist out of the jerk, but the jerk just continues to be a jerk. So to enforce his will, Cube puts on this dramatic and vicious scowl at the dude. This gets like a zoom in and gravitas and like a little rap score underneath it because like he's doing something dramatic instead of just fucking scowling. There was some thought both in this movie and in real life that Cube was a super tough guy. We talked about this in the beginning, but like,
right? Yeah.
It's interesting because to me, I don't see that at all because Cube is just like a rapper, an ex-rapper who does movies now. Like, how can anyone like that be a tough guy? That's like saying, yeah, Tom Cruise, it sure is a tough guy because he fucking played a secret agent in movies. Like, no, it's just they're actors. They're all soft and doughy on the inside.
I think it's like Gary Busey. Like, Gary Busey now is just a cartoon of a man, but Gary Busey, when he was the bad guy in Lethal Weapon, was frightening.
I don't know, he's still just an actor.
Yeah.
I just like, I don't know. He's the guy who goes to a trailer and gets his fucking face powdered. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but just like, I can't see actors as anything but soft cowards. I don't know. This is information about myself I'm learning on Stone Air.
You're really winning over the movie industry.
No, it's not that. I kind of went off on a weird tangent. That's not the case, but I don't know.
Tom Cruise, you're a fucking pussy.
Tom Cruise can fuck right off with that son of a bitch. Fucking yeah, I'll take on the Church of Scientology. I don't give a shit.
Prepare to die.
Yeah, they do like to kill people. Don't forget, they kill people. If I die, it's the Scientologist or Isaac. Arrest both.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's I couldn't. Ice Cube to me, he's just an actor. I don't know. I didn't. Again, it's different upbringing. It's different. I wasn't in the world at all, so whatever. So the jerk gives up where the pharmacist is at the intensity of Cube's scowl. The brother asks how he did that, and Cube teaches him the art of the scowl, which is Donald Trump's next book. The pharmacist is at a children's party downtown, dressed as a clown, because that's where we're at. Obviously, this room is full of children, so everything about this scene is terrible. The pharmacist says he can't help Cube right now since he is, dressed as a fucking clown at a party, which is, you're incapable of helping any human being when you're at a children's party dressed as a clown. At that point, you're clinging to scraps of life and praying for death.
You might be able to help Jeffrey Epstein round up a few.
He is dead, and I'm still upset about it. I mean, don't get me started because I'll flip this fucking desk. It's one of the most upsetting things in American history that doesn't involve us slaughtering Native people. Which, just, God.
Yeah.
So, why do we get so political? When did that happen? It's a show about movies, for Christ's sake.
I think we need to start some kind of TV show with gay people called The Trail of Queers.
So let me guess, you got the name, and that's literally it, huh?
Yeah, that's it. Maybe it's like The Long Walk from Stephen King, but it's gay people, and it's called The Trail of Queers? And then we maybe don't kill them, because that might look bad?
You don't say! Fuck. Oh, God. I'm gonna get canceled.
It's like if you stop walking, you have to suck a dick or something. Like, it's not the end of the world.
This is awful. This is an awful idea. This is awful we're talking about it, and we're gonna get fired.
Trail of Queers, coming to NBC in 2023. Showrunners Isaac and Larry.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. If we make a show, it's gotta be together for all the good and bad that entails.
That might work. You stop walking, you have to suck a dick.
You think it's going to be on primetime NBC, huh?
Well, no, yeah, probably might be a Pornhub special.
I'd probably watch it. It sounds compelling, honestly, if nothing else.
It
sounds at least compelling,
Trail of Queers, we got this.
Man, oh God, oh, I can just see the headlines. I'm glad we're not important or famous. So the farm.
How many times can you get canceled?
How many episodes of the show are there?
Larry, 69. This is episode 69.
69, and it's about Ice Cube and children. Great. So yeah, he's talking to this pharmacist clown because I'm reviewing a movie here, for Christ's sake. The pharmacist goes into a rant about bartering. You scratch my back, I scratch yours, etc., etc. Cube says he doesn't barter with anyone, and if you don't believe him, ask John Voight. Oh, wait, you can't, because he's dead in this fucking swamp, you clown amateur.
God damn it.
So anyway, in exchange for the inhaler being filled, Cube has to be the clown.
Has to blow the clown?
Excuse me. He has to be the clown and watch the children. Obviously, antics ensue. The brother and sister eat sweets, which is forbidden to them normally. A bully comes up and bullies the brother. He uses the scowl he learned last scene to scare the bully off. Cube ends up getting tackled by and beaten up by a bunch of children while trying to stop the chaos. Eventually, the sister decides to help him by going on stage and singing karaoke. She sings Respect by Aretha Franklin, R-E-S-P-E-C-T, find out what it means to me, blah, blah, blah. You know the song. Cube is stunned that she can sing well. And speaking of getting canceled, I think this little girl is actually a good singer. She's also in School of Rock, apparently, but she does not have a movie career.
Oh, okay.
Her movie career ended not long after Are We Fucking Back Yet, or what the hell is the sequel's called?
School of Rock's a guilty pleasure of mine.
Apparently,
but if she was in that movie, she's talented.
Apparently she can sing well. I hate it. I hate it. Like, not hate it in a funny, Larry's gonna make fun of the movie way. No, I genuinely hated the sound of her voice singing. And I'm sorry, little girl, who's an adult now, but...
Well, you just hate children.
No. Okay, yes, I do, but, like, I'm saying on a level, taking anything but taste in music out of the picture, I absolutely hated her singing this song. Like, unrelated to her being a child, I didn't like the way the sound waves sounded going into my ear holes. Like, I feel bad about it because
Larry.
I think she's supposed to be good, but I hated it.
Man.
Yeah, it was real bad. Because, like, I talk, a lot of times I'll give movies, like, the tiniest bit of credit because sometimes I like the songs they use. It happens quite a bit, in fact, in my reviews, but...
Yeah,
man,
I like the Insane Clown Posse because you're a monster.
No, I respect them.
That's worse.
That is worse, I don't think
sir.
So. I don't think so. I would debate that with you in open court. I don't like them. I just respect them. But no,
those words.
I don't like any of them.
ICP and respect.
I don't like any of their music. None of the music's any good. I mean,
R-E-S-P-E-C-T-I-C-P.
Oh, God. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to be mean, and it's most likely just me that hated it, but
Oh, yeah, you're just maligning a child.
I hate it.
doing
Yeah,
the
no,
thing
I
they're
mean...
most proud of themselves
Yeah,
for.
I know. I don't feel great about it. I don't feel great about it, okay? I'm usually fine to diss actors in movies and fuck all of it. I don't give a shit, but I don't feel great about this one, but I hated it. I'm sorry, all right? She was like one of the vocal singers in the band in School of Rock, which I saw, I don't know, 15 years ago. Who knows? But it was fine. But she can sing. I just hate it. Sue me. Anyway, the song ends and the pharmacist comes back with a full inhaler. Where did he go? He's still dressed like a clown. He's wearing face paint. Does he have inhaler fucking gas in his goddamn pocket? I don't know. It drove me crazy. He just shows up in the middle of the song like with a bag with inhalers. Like, here you go, Cube. Have a nice life, you fucking asshole. Just where did he go dressed as a clown? His like big dopey clown shoes. Just picture him climbing up a wall like fucking the killer clowns from outer space. I don't know. He's gonna eat children. I hate everything. Oh, God. Our heroes take off again, and the brother is fired up from having sugar, which he doesn't normally have, which makes him even worse than normal. Again, children are the worst. They bond a little more and are even friendlier than they were before. Eventually, the boy expresses how sick he is and vomits the most amount of vomit I've ever seen at one point in my life all over the inside of the windshield, which is just great.
Of course.
Yeah. Mama calls and is pissed off that they are now 2 hours late. Cube says he had to stop and clean the gator, and Mama berates him for caring more about the car than her kids being in the freezing cold. I'm like about to vomit myself now. She says if he is not there by 8 p.m., he's going to be in big trouble. This is the woman who fucking, after knowing this dude a week, just trusted her kids to travel across the nation, not the nation, but across the border of another country. Nary a background check in the world of who this guy is, and just like getting rides from him for a week, and suddenly he's the villain of this movie.
Was it ever brought up if she had life insurance policies on the children?
Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked. But she like reads him the riot act because he's like showing up late, and it's like, lady,
yeah, you barely know this guy.
Are you kidding me? Are you for fucking real? Oh my God. So kids in the Cube are cleaning out the car when a deer comes by. The brother is terrified, but Cube makes friends with the deer by offering it a cookie. They're feeding it when the sister takes a picture with a flash. It's an old camera.
Scares the deer.
The real deer becomes a terrible CGI deer in fear and attacks Cube.
Of course.
In a scene I saw described as iconic in at least 3 different reviews. So apparently that's what people... Like, I don't think they mean it like this is this is like fucking Michael at the end of The Godfather confessing his sins, blah, blah, blah. I think they just mean like this is what people know from the movie. Which I get... I like...
The word iconic should not be used.
I saw it in at least 3 different reviews. And I think, like, vaguely remember, like, the trailer when I was younger, kind of having him fight a deer. Like, seeing Ice Cube fight a deer was like, oh, that kind of sounds right. Like, I kind of remember that. So maybe, I don't know.
It computes.
Yeah. It does not sound weird when I say it, so I guess,
Yes.
So while he's fighting the deer, he's having flashbacks to the anaconda fight, and, like, he's looking back at the sister. I really tried to make it the whole time without breaking.
I'm gonna fucking stab you in the neck with a fucking sharpened toothbrush.
God damn it! I tried. I really tried to go, but I can't. I'm looking at this other computer. I don't usually, when I do my reviews, you don't have your camera pulled up because I don't have enough room. But I have it pulled up, and I just saw you just shake your head and go, "Oh my God, he's doing it again!" And I did it. All right, I confess. This is not a sequel to Anaconda.
What? You've misled our beloved audience this whole time. This whole time.
Any of the scenes about Anaconda I made up. Wouldn't that be funny, though, if it was?
Yeah, it would be amazing.
So, yeah, eventually Cube... This part is real. Cube puts it into a sleeper hold, and no joke.
Fuck.
So he then kicks it and runs off.
Fucking Jesus.
In the fight... Cube lost his keys, so he has to hotwire his own car. He's using a lighter to see and manages to set the inside of the car on fire. He grabs a bobblehead and whatever shit he can grab before the car becomes a towering inferno, eventually exploding as they jump away in slow motion. Gotta say, I did not expect that when this movie started. He laments that it's a year's pay and cries to the Lord for succor. He yells at the kids and blames them entirely correctly, and they start to cry, so he apologizes. The brother says that baby daddy left because they're such awful kids. Yeah, it's probably true. The assholes. Fuck. They set off on foot. They find the keys in the dirt. He hits the door lock and all the doors fall off. I enjoyed that, if only because it reminded me of the car falling apart at the end of Blues Brothers, a much better movie. Which, if you've never seen Blues Brothers, if you're one of our younger audience members and you're not sure what that is, my God, go out and see it. It's in like my top 50 movies of all time. It's so good.
Good classic. I think it was the first SNL movie that came out.
Is there more
Saturday
than
Night
one?
Live.
That's a genuine question. Is there more than one?
Oh, like Wayne's World and Night of the Roxbury. There's been a bunch of movies.
Both sound terrible. I've never seen it. I've never...
Wayne's World's great.
I've never, ever...
My wife and I had
ever liked the Wayne's
discussion
World
because we both enjoy Wayne's World a lot, and we had a conversation about how much you would hate Wayne's World, even though we love it.
Of course I would hate it. I get nothing from it.
I hope it's on Netflix.
Fuck, please, no.
Chris Farley's in it.
I just don't.
Briefly.
Well, yeah, I'm sure his part's great. I don't want. He's just making everyone hate me. Making watch all these movies people like, and everyone's gonna hate me because I hate everything. Oh man. Because you're gonna one day make me watch fucking Wes Anderson, and I'm gonna have to talk about how much I hate it, and I'm gonna lose that whole division of people.
Yeah, well, if they'd put a Wes Anderson movie on Netflix.
God, I hope they don't. All right, so they start all hitchhiking by the side of the road. A tractor cab pulls up, and the kids get in. They don't show us the driver because obviously it's our old friend, the disapproving trucker who tried to kill Cube and the children in the movie.
Of course.
And then they reveal him dramatically, and he says he's saving the kids from Cube and speeds off, leaving Cube rolling on the highway because he tried to hold on and ends up just fucking rolling on the highway. So now it's just a fucking kidnapping.
What is happening?
I don't even know anymore. Cube stops a sign truck coming by. I don't know why. This whole bit was very strange. They do the same sort of thing. There's a beat where he gets into the truck and the sign truck is like, holy crap, yeah, let me help you out. And they don't show his face. And then they show it and there's a brief zoom in. And I'm and it's just a guy. And I'm okay, that must be some actor I don't know. Maybe he and Cube have a history, and because they frame it in such a way that this driver of this sign truck, it's like a truck with a billboard on the back of it. They're not everywhere in the country, but you see them around.
Larry, here's the twist. That's Satchel Paige.
Satchel Paige is a black man. This is a white man.
Yeah, it's Satchel Paige and white.
Well, this guy, it's nobody. He's just a guy. He's just some Canadian actor who's a bit part in a few things. He's just that is weird. It's weirdly if you go watch. Well, thank God. I think Are We There Yet? It's going off on Netflix in 2 weeks, so you're not going to be able to get to see this. You're lucky you.
Hurry up. Get on the ground floor.
It's a very weird.
Enjoy
they kind of give this scene a second of oh, it's that guy, but it's not. It's nobody.
I wonder if it was a cut scene and he had a part earlier in the movie. Maybe.
I guess it could be.
Did Mike explain?
That makes that would make sense because maybe they didn't want to do oh, there's these two trucks they met in the movie are both back to back.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's an interesting thought. It's just weird. And this guy he's sort of bombastic and loud and he has a few gags where they're driving along, but it's not. He's in the movie for 3 minutes. It's not a thing. I don't know.
Well, when we do our bonus episode where we interview Ice Cube, we'll have to ask him.
I would love to interview us. He would.
It would
hate
be pretty
us
great
and eviscerate us.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
So, Mr. Ice Cube, how did you like doing the rap, Mr. Cube, sir? Can I call you Cube?
I'm a fan of your flow, sir.
I don't think I know any of his songs.
Cops bad.
No. Yeah, I'm sure he has one that is. This is terrible. We get car chase cuts mixed with Mama being upset at the party. They're having a truck duel downtown in Vancouver. Suddenly, I realize how the fuck did they get across the border without passports or whatever?
Stop asking questions.
I know. I don't know why that. I just occurred to me then. Both trucks smash into each other again. For fuck's sake, I guess just who cares, right? So conveniently, the trucks end up stopping at the party where Mama is working, because why wouldn't they?
Of course.
The kids run in, but the brother gets distracted by cotton candy and gets scooped up by disapproving trucker. Cube appears and attacks him, and both end up fighting in the middle of some group of costumed, I wrote con men, but it's snowmen. I don't know why I did that. There's a group of there's a group of snowmen like on an ice rink, ice skate. It's like a big like outdoor, imagine like Rockefeller Plaza party, but smaller and in Canada, so therefore much worse. You're fine, Canada. Don't.
So it's a single moose and a jar of syrup.
You've described the two things about. Oh, and hockey's there. I think the snowmen actually do have hockey sticks. I think. Yeah, they do. They do. That's right.
Of course.
Cube and disapproving trucker are throwing punches when the snowmen get involved, and police are comically falling everywhere. It's dumb. Sister catches up with Mom, and they head to the ice skating rink, where Cube is now fighting off snowmen with a broom, while the cops try and take him out. Suddenly, in the middle of the fight, the brother, who had been fine a second ago, has an asthma attack and collapses dramatically to the ice. So, believe it or not, fat boy, soft boy, idiot Larry has asthma and has had it for much of his life. And I've had asthma attacks that have been very, very bad, and I have been hospitalized for them. But at no point do you just go from being, hey, everything's great, to literally near death in a split second.
It takes a few minutes, right?
It takes usually more than a few minutes. Like, I didn't look up medical information about it. I'm going with my asthma was pretty bad. It's much, much better the older I get. And my sister's was even worse. She's been hospitalized a lot for it, because sometimes you just can't breathe and it sucks. Which is why my deepest fear in life is suffocating. But did you just not just instantly go from this is fine to he's gonna die and Ice Cube has to literally save his life?
Does he give him like an emergency tracheotomy?
Yeah, you know in the scene in Pulp Fiction where they stab, is it Uma Thurman? With the, no.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. With the fucking hypodermic needle. It's that, yeah. Same thing, too. He's dressed up like her and everything. No, it's just, he just pulls the inhaler out of the kid's doll and gives it to him. That's it. It's like the most undramatic saving thing ever.
But Ice Cube's the hero, and he's gonna fucking dive into that pussy like a...
Dick First.
Yeah. Dick First is a great name.
And honestly, I wish I knew a guy named Richard First. Man.
Hello,
I'm Richard First. My friends call me Dick.
That's my next, detective noir story. I'm gonna write. Dick First is the name. Solving crimes is my game.
Dick First.
I don't mind the pretty ladies either.
Again, listeners, please write in and say, why do you listen to this? I genuinely want to know, because I'm not even sure why we do it sometimes. All right, so Cube saves the kid's life. Mama shows up and berates the hell out of Cube. She says he's caused a catastrophe. She doesn't give him any chance to explain. She says she wanted to believe in him, but he fouled it up. The cops ask if he had permission to watch the kids. She says, yes, but it's a mistake that won't happen again. We'll talk about it at the end.
I bet it will.
So the cops let Cube and disapproving Trucker go. Trucker apologizes for all the trouble and offers Cube a ride home, but the tractor is getting impounded and we never see Trucker again. Pointless villain. Of course. Pointless villain. Cube has a heart-to-heart. I said that wrong. Cube has a hot-to-hot with the bobblehead, who tells him to celebrate that he got rid of Mama and the kids, and they should all go fuck off, and Cube needs to go hit the Canadian clubs. Cube sees a bunch of happy families, however, and I guess the little girl calling him damaged or gay sunk in, because suddenly he wants a family reet bad. He has a flashback to all his happy moments with the kids. There's 3. The rest is pain and suffering. What is the story?
That's parenting.
I guess so.
3 happy moments and pain and suffering.
I guess so. I hope it was worth it,
and you
parents.
Sustain yourself.
And every parent tells me how worth it was, and you're all fucking liars and fools.
It's like being in a cult.
Bunch
like
of
you can't...
suckers. Bunch of suckers.
Parenting is a cult.
Look how happy and successful I am. All right. So Cube finds her hotel room magically. The room number is 1408. Not sure if reference to the bad Johnny Depp movie. At least I think it's bad. I've never actually seen it, but I know there's a Johnny Depp movie called 1408.
No, that's John Cusack. It's based off a Stephen King story.
Oh, is that any good?
Well,
this might be a reference to it. I don't know. I just saw that. I was like, wait, isn't that a movie?
Yeah.
So Cube says she has a right to be upset. She tells him they don't need excuses. The kids don't need excuses. They need a man, and he should just fuck off. She's been down this road before and isn't going back. So what is this romance? Like, you've heard the whole movie. Maybe you can help me figure it out. So they're like, fit to fuck for a week, and she's like, no, you don't know my kids. And which is true. And then he like takes her to the airport, and she's like, he says, I'll take your kids to fucking Canada. And she's like, sure, great, sounds awesome. And it goes horribly wrong. And like, now she's like talking about not the fact that her kids almost died a bunch of times, but the fact that like, they need a real man, and you're not a real man, and also I don't like you because you're not a real man, and our romance isn't gonna... Like, what is this romance? It's, like, nothing.
Yeah, basically like every romantic comedy. Terrible.
Why don't just make them be, like, new... I don't know. It's just a really slapdash setup for, like, them to fall in love, air quotes, of, like, what is it?
I mean, to be fair, when I'm formulating my second family, slapdash is probably a fair word for it.
I don't know. It just, her, like, reasoning is not just like, get out, my kids almost got run off the road by a crazy white trucker, get the fuck out of my life, you insane person, I'm calling the cops. Like, okay, you know what? Sure, granted, deserved. But, like, this, like, they need a real man for a father, you're not a real man. What is that coming from? What are you talking about, you lunatic? I don't know. So, Kyo convinces her to let him say goodbye to the kids. They have a touching goodbye moment, and everyone is sad. He gives them the bobblehead and his bling so that they always remember this terrible, terrible adventure. Oh, I'm sorry. His
Jesus.
blingage. Ugh.
Thank you.
Mama
Larry.
sees the kids actually like him and has a change of heart, throwing herself into Cube's arms. I guess that's all she needed. She was ready to smash regardless, I guess, just thinking he almost killed her kids. And
Jesus.
does she even talk to them? Apparently not, because they were saying, Mom, no, we like him now, he's cool. But she just ignores them, which is why they act out, because she's the worst mother.
Larry, your rage is electric
I just don't
today.
understand. Like, her children are just a prop to her.
Mother Goose Corner with Larry Beard.
Be better, kids, to your own kids. Man. So they make out, and I tried to do the Anaconda thing again, but fuck it. So the movie ends. So, yeah. What do you say about...
Can we start a spinoff podcast, How to Be a Better Mother, featuring Larry Beard?
Yes! If we ever get actually popular with this podcast, we should, separately or together, probably separately, interview our mothers, because I think that there's a lot of shame there.
So do you interview your mother?
No.
Or do I?
We just have
I
them
interview
on.
your.
We just, like,
okay.
This is a side episode featuring Isaac's mother and one featuring Larry's mother. If we have them both on together, we'll kill ourselves. I'm positive of it. Because they'll just talk to each other and we'll want to die. So we can't do that.
That's true.
But I feel like, because there is just a lot to unpack there. So, yeah, what do you say about this fucking movie? The romance is so slapdash and terrible, and it really bothered me. Because, like, it's not the main focus of the movie, because the main focus of the movie is the relationship between Cube and the kids. Like, okay, sure, yeah, I hate children, blah, blah, blah. But, like, I get it, like, that's the point. But then why is the climax like, I'll fuck you anyway? Sure, yeah, this shit happened, we didn't really talk about it, but yeah, okay, whatever. Like...
You need a happy ending.
But I don't... Yeah, okay, I don't expect writing of the year, but, like, it just could have been... Like, I feel like you could have started the movie with them dating. And maybe the kids have been with the dad or fucking in Europa. I don't know. It's somewhere else. And, like, then they're here. But, like...
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The movie that handled this slightly better was Coffee and Kareem.
Yeah, kind of.
At least, I mean, that was a terrible movie in a lot of ways, but at least that setup where like they have been dating for a little while.
Yeah, they've been fucking on the sly.
Right.
Like
exactly.
that was this just because we see the entire romance from literally the second they meet to the second they end and then get married, and she's pregnant with twins in the second one. Spoiler.
Jesus,
fucking like it's just so bad because they share so little time, and the time that like where the meter is running on Cube winning her heart is where her children are in terrible danger, and like she's either not aware of that or is hyper aware of it, and like at the end, I don't know. It's so poorly put together. Just that whole thing.
Slapdash.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Like, it left a really bad taste in my mouth because at the end of the movie, like, that's, of course, they're kissing and the ball drops and everybody's happy and the kids are happy and blah. I don't know. That was like what a dumb ending sort of thing. Like, it was the obvious ending, which I'm not going to harp on it being obvious, but, like, really doesn't seem deserved.
But you can't feel good about it because it wasn't earned.
No, it wasn't earned at all.
And even a movie that's like a 4 out of 10 or something that has a predictable ending, like if the math computes, you can still feel good about it.
I can't look at this and say whatever,
but
when I could for something else of a similar ilk, you know?
Yeah.
So the kids suck. Oh, they're so bad. And they just drain all the energy out of this movie. And yes, I know I keep saying I hate kids the whole way, but like legitimately, just relying on it's a movie about 2 children who are kind of shitty, and even if they logically have a reason, they might be because their home life isn't great, but like God, it just takes so much out of me. Like, I can't imagine being like a fucking a parent and watching this and just being like, this is what my break from the fucking kids are. It's a movie with shitty kids.
They're kind of the villains of the story.
Yeah.
But kind of not.
I don't know.
It's weird. It's a weird
setup.
Yeah,
because they're like trying to get one over on Cube the whole time. And like he's also a piece of shit about it. Because, he doesn't want to do it, and he's using them to get into her puss. So, like, and he's clearly, like, he's not even, really hides the fact. Like, it's, I don't know. Everybody sucks. And, but yeah, the road trip gag, it's nothing new. It's been done to death. I mean, fucking National Lampoon Family Vacation is probably the prime example of a good road trip movie I think of.
Right.
Like, and I'm not a huge Chevy Chase fan, but that movie is fantastic.
Possibly better than that was Road Trip Beer Pong. That was a really prime example of a road trip movie.
Real funny.
Yep, I really enjoyed that.
Go back and listen to that episode to hear Isaac how he really feels.
They were titties.
Oh, the connection to Anaconda is tenuous at best and really doesn't seem like it belongs. The 2 movies are really only connected by Cube and nothing else. I was so proud of myself. Damn it, I hate that I broke.
Just imagine, Are We There Yet? But the little kid, the asthmatic kid, is played by Jon Voight.
Jon Voight singing the hamster dance.
Yep, so much better.
The stakes are very low. The parenting is horrendous. Like, the mom just, like, even when she's with the kids and they're being shitty, she, like, doesn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, just a bad behavior, not even an apologist. It's like she almost ignores them. I think the real secret of this movie is that she's just like a shitty mom. They almost get murdered by a guy twice and still make friends with him by the end of it, somehow.
That's how that works.
They really didn't have a fully put together movie. They had a collection of Cube hates kids gags tied to a very weak love story with stakes that never mattered. And it's possibly the most slapped together love story in a Bowles movie I've seen so far. Like, none of it's deserved. Any part of the love story is deserved, and it's like the force driving the whole plot forward is that he wants to get into her pants, and like he does, and there's no way any of these people should be together. I don't know. I think it's just because it's right at the end and it really stuck in my craw. All that topped off with an asthma attack near-miss death scene that doesn't really change anyone's mind about Cube, except the trucker who had already been removed as any kind of player in the movie at that point. So why even bother doing it? Like, he's the only one whose mind gets changed, is the trucker, who's like, done. Has no truck, so therefore he's just a guy. Like, I don't know. It was like a very much like we show that Cube cares now. He cares. It's like, he saved someone's life by, like, you giving an inhaler the easiest device on the planet to administer. Like, I don't know what the percentage is of children born with asthma in the fucking 90s, but I'm guessing someone else at this party could have done that just as easily. Like,
the inhaler is a button on top and a valve that goes in the mouth. It's not a medical procedure.
No, and it's like, Cube, am I supposed to believe that old Cube would have just let the kid die? Like, I don't understand how that was supposed to be like a dramatic revelation or a dramatic shift in character for Cube. Because it doesn't change the mom's mind. She's like, you fucking lunatic, you like fought it, you like kicked a deer and like chokeholded a deer. She's just, I don't know. This movie,
you're trying to make too much sense out of this movie.
It's easily
Larry.
a 2 out of 10. The plot and the children here really drag this down by a huge amount. Cube is kind of fun. Like I said, with this and Anaconda, Cube is fun to watch, and he's solid. Like,
he's an entertainer.
He's as solid, and he's the same in every movie he's in like a very solid way, and I can deal with that. It's just everything about it just bogs it down, and it's impossible to give any sort of shit about any of this. And I'm happy to never have to see it again. Fuck it. Fuck it, man.
We'll wait for the sequel to come out on Netflix.
God damn it. I read the plot, and it just looks so much worse. This one actually has a villain, I think. Some actor. Some, like, low A, high B actor. I forget who. Fuck it.
Oh, well. It better come out. I'm intrigued. Oh, man. That was a spicy one.
Yeah.
You got heated.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really that upset about it now. I think I was for like 5 minutes after it was over, but I don't know. It's not a rage that's going to last with me like some of the other ones. Ugh, God. That was
Fair
stupid.
enough.
Stupid.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you suffered. You deserve it.
I do.
Oh, boy. All right, well, we are the Bowels of Netflix. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back in your ear holes next Sunday. Find us on Facebook, find us on Twitter, bowelsofnetflix@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Make sure to rate and subscribe. Forgot to tell that up top. Hide your grandmother's medication until she's a listener.
Forgot to tell that one up top.
If she dies, so be it.
Yeah, next week, tune in for Isaac reviewing a Russell Brand movie.
What is it even called?
I don't remember. That's your job.
Damn it. Shit. I really don't remember.
Arthur, I believe.
Oh, yeah. Right, Arthur. Okay, that's gonna be good. I'm gonna do Brewster's Millions instead.
No, can't do it. I know the difference.
No,
I want to watch Brewster's Millions.
Can we watch it together?
Yes, dear.
Okay. Thank you so much for listening. We will be back next Sunday. God, we love you so much.
We do love you.
Not really. But well, it's love like a motel hand job.
Smell you later. Worst show. Cancel your subscription. Tear down society. It's over.
Tell your grandmother.